Did you listen to Jeff and Professor Hemo in the morning? Here's what you missed.
This man was running while he had both asthma and tuberculosis.
Oh, man.
Who does that?
Only Billy Konchellah.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
By the way, he went to Upper Hill, went to Jammu, got a scholarship to University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. Is that how you pronounce it, Date? Yes. Albuquerque. Not Albuquerque. Not Albuquerque. What to come out?
Albuquerque.
You see?
No, you see?
Albuquerque.
You see, unakuwa surprised.
Albuquerque. By the way, he couldn't run in the Olympics in '84 because of the asthma.
Okay.
But then in '80, he'll correct me, Billy. In '87,
yes.
he broke that record. But in '84, did you run? You came third or fourth?
I was fourth.
You were fourth.
In the Olympics.
And Sebastian Coe was running in that one.
Yeah, he was second.
The famous Sebastian Coe.
Yeah, Joaquim Cruz was first.
Joaquim Cruz.
Yes, from Brazil. And I was fourth in that race, but I was injured. I think I would have tore those guys apart.
Yeah.
I had a hip flexor injury. I was running like a horse, trotting. I couldn't stretch out.
You couldn't, and you had that
still
kick.
finished fourth.
Your thing was the kick in the end, right?
Yes,
The last 200
I
meters.
couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that, but
Because I was trotting.
87.
Yeah,
Where was it?
Well, 87 was in Rome,
The World Championships.
World Championship.
And that's the record that stands to this day.
Stands up to today.
143
143.06.
in 800 meters.
800 meters.
So
Nobody has broken.
long before David Rudisha came on the scene,
Yes.
there was Billy the Kid Konchellah. What a story. We're going to get to that story in a little short while. Actually, you know what, Katiba?
Yes.
Let's get into the story.
A story a day.
Okay, so you were watching JKL last night, Billy, and you texted me actually because you were very impressed with this young man.
Oh my goodness.
Masai Ujiri.
Yes.
A guy with the name Masai.
One of us.
And you're Masai.
I am Masai. Totally Masai.
What do you think of him, man? And what
No,
do
you
think?
see, Jeff, that really, in our sitting rooms, that really guy that lifted us all up. And you see, the thing is that we've been always talking about. It's about leadership in sports. And he narrated it very nicely. He put it really good, and
He said, put the right people in the right place.
put the right people, and that's what it is. And then he talks about the governments. The African government should think about how they put the right people in the right places. Because you see, if you don't have the right person in the right place, they will never really recognize the importance of that, whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
And you see, the thing is like we need to have the right people.
And you know
Especially.
what, Billy, the window's closing. The window's closing. This
Yeah.
guy is not going to be a champion for long.
No.
Yes.
And he's begging people, he's begging African governments. He cannot bring his Toronto Raptors to play in Kenya
Can you
because there's no arena, there's no
Yes.
stadium.
There's nothing here.
He says Kasarani should be shut down for 2 years.
Yes.
He says this.
It's amazing. Yeah, because Jeff, you know, that brought me to what yesterday, I did visit the Ministry of Sports yesterday. I was there, I was talking with the administrator. And I was in the lobby waiting. I met the guy from, I think it was hockey. You see, in Morocco, where they're going for the African Championship right now, there's not enough infrastructure to play hockey. So hockey is being taken to South Africa.
From Morocco.
Yes, the Hockey African Championship is being held in South Africa because the infrastructure is not there. And if you think about, he told me a lot about hockey. Hockey, right now we have only one artificial turf in Kenya. If you look at Holland, they have almost 1,000.
Artificial turf.
And it's a 17 million population. It's a very small country, probably smaller than Narrow County.
Yeah, most of it is
And
underwater.
they have 1,000.
Most of it is underwater.
They're one of the best. You know, Jeff, hockey has changed. It used to be like Pakistan and India, but now it's the Europeans because they have built the infrastructure.
They've invested.
And that just tells us a lot about what we need to do.
But
Here
maybe-
we have only one, and we're 42 million.
Okay, listen, speaking of the
So
right
that's an
people in the right places, Billy, how come someone like you isn't an administrator? How come someone like you is not out there coaching or pushing the agenda? Because you've been in it, Billy. You've been in it from day one.
Yes, Jeff. I mean, seriously, if PhDs were given to athletics,
Yes.
I think I'll have 5 PhDs.
Since
Okay, Jeff. It's true. I mean, seriously, I know so much in depth of this thing.
Yes.
And that's why I've always said I want to be the boss of athletics, because the wrong people are on the job.
Yes.
And that's why we have so much problems in doping.
Corruption, doping.
So, I mean, just open the papers. Why is it so difficult to finance an African team. What is so difficult about it? And we have the sports fund. We have the lottery. In the Sport Act, the lotto was introduced. Right? The same thing like Sports Pesa and all those things.
Yes.
If we have that put together, which is run by government, we'll not be able to go and look for money because the money is already there. If Sport Pesa can be able to go and finance Premier League, 2 teams.
In the UK.
If we do also that thing, because it's there in the Sports Act, lotto is there, and we will be able not to source for money anyway. Money will be ready to finance all these things.
But you know, Billy, people are too busy stealing and eating and
Jeff,
putting their family members in.
They have the wrong people in the job.
Yes.
And people are sleeping on the job. Even this doping menace is really terrible and it's tearing us apart.
Yes.
And then this export of children. This is like brain drain, but in talent draining. In the future, we'll be competing with our own people outside beating us.
And they're running for other countries.
Yes, and Jeff, let me not shoot myself on the foot because they say, oh, your son is running for Bahrain. The people who gave my child to go and run for Bahrain are still in the sport right now, selling other children. And I think, Jeff, they need to put a commission of inquiry into that selling of children and also for the doping menace because this thing, what is going on? Who's doing it?
And you know, Billy, you think about
Yes.
it, this is the one thing that we are really good at.
Yes.
Every marathon on the planet or long distance, it's Kenyans who win it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Now, if you're destroying that hand that feeds you, if you're just, cutting your nose to spite your face,
Yes.
I mean, that's pathetic.
It's really sad, Jeff. I always look at this and I sit there herding my cows in Kilgoris and I say, what did I do? Why am I herding cows? Yeah? I should be out there doing something to develop. And then these guys who are in positions, they find it so difficult to solve issues which are so simple, very simple, just like that lotto thing.
Yeah.
In the terms of doping, put a commission of inquiry, a committee or commission of inquiry, so that they could check what is really going on. Instead of saying, oh, ADAC had what, this.
Blame game. They call
Blaming
it
game.
blame game because they won't admit it. They don't have the capacity to deal with it.
And you see, this past weekend, ADAC was sent to Naivasha for a retreat to be questioned by the parliamentary committee.
Right.
But you see, that's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Why do you need all that? That's waste of money. People just need to earn their allowances.
That's it.
That's it.
Per diem
You know,
allowances. These are
all these
retreat.
This is what Masai Njiri was talking about.
Yes.
Put the right people in the right
The
places.
right
Yes.
place.
I wish Jeff they would put me in that Ministry of Sports. I mean, I don't want Amina's job. I'm just saying that if they would put me to advise even Amina,
Yes.
we can solve those issues very
Seriously,
simply,
yeah?
very fast.
And you know, you're the expert. Let's face it, Amina was at Foreign Affairs before, right? And she was great at that.
Yes.
But when you change the ministries, you know, it takes a while for you to settle in.
Yes.
So you need the team
The right
players.
people.
You need the right people, Jeff. If you don't have the right people, you can't do your work.
Can't do anything.
And you keep on blaming game.
Yeah.
If you just open the newspaper, I mean, seriously, just a simple thing as a hotel. What's so difficult about that?
Imagine the players
Sitting-
are out in the corridors.
Imagine in Nairobi.
Because you can't.
In
you haven't paid.
Nairobi.
You haven't
Yes.
paid.
Yes.
That's pathetic. Okay, Billy,
Yes.
your story, man. Your story. There are a lot of people, you know, who were born long after you were breaking that record in '87, so they don't know Billy Konchellah. So let's talk about when you first started running professionally, right? Let's say 84, you couldn't do the Olympics, right? Because of asthma and tuberculosis.
No, it was later.
Oh, it was later.
Yeah, I got the asthma and the TB later on.
Okay.
But the asthma just came in. Then it happened that the TB anybody can get it. It's airborne.
Yes.
But the asthma was actually I was having it always.
And you were running with it.
Yes, but you see the
Do you
thing
have
is-
an inhaler?
Yes, I have it even right now. It's right here. This little blue thing I carried all everywhere. Yes, because you see, even some of family members have died. Because you see, asthma is an allergy, and if it triggers and gets to you get that spasm, and then your bronchos are really straining, so that you can't breathe in.
Yeah.
You can die very, very fast.
You could die.
Yes.
Okay, so 1987, you're in Rome.
1987, I was in Rome. Thank goodness I had a good doctor. You know, when I lived in LA, I had a very good doctor. And this doctor was the one who was able to put me together so that I was able to run. But in 87, I came in together and I was in very good shape. I think I was able to run 140.
What?
Yes, but you see that time, I had no competition. they tried to get Joachim Cruz,
Yes.
who beat me in '84,
Yes.
to run. He refused to run, and I wanted some competition so that I could go faster. They got in a fight with my manager the night before. Until the Cruz manager came and told me that your manager is crazy.
So you were running against yourself.
Yes, I didn't have no competition, Jeff. If you look at that race,
Yeah.
I was just cruising. I was just like, the British call it like I loped out of the starting blocks.
Okay.
Yes.
And then 4 years later, 91.
91.
You get the another gold.
Yeah, because in between
Yeah.
there was 88 Olympics.
Yes.
I couldn't even come to Kenya. My asthma was just too much. And sometimes when it kicks in, it's really hard.
Yeah.
So I couldn't make it. But after some time,
87 All Africa Games, you got a gold.
yeah, I got the gold in Africa Games,
Yes.
and then I went and won the World Championship.
Yes.
And then 88, I could not even make it. That's when Paul Rang.
Yeah. That was in Seoul, South Korea.
Seoul, South Korea.
Yes.
He won the gold.
Right.
And then also that's the time that his name also started getting built.
Yes.
And then 92,
91.
91 I won. Then again asthma came in. 92 I couldn't make it in Barcelona. I mean these things were just like, it's just amazing. People don't realize that when you have asthma, it's like your handicap. But that's why I keep on always telling people that you can do it. But you see, sometimes it gets to you. One is one good season.
Yeah.
The next season, sometimes it's difficult because I push my lungs so hard, and I just need a rest. Then I rest again, I come back again. And people used to think that he's so lazy, he doesn't train hard. But people didn't know how my training was. When I was healthy, I could do serious training. Many people could not even match my training. But you see,
With the asthma.
yes, but I had the tricks that I used to mess with people's minds. You know? One thing was the kick, and the other one was tea. Tea, chai. Hey, chai. I drink tea like crazy, and I'll be sitting in the lobby of the hotel just drinking tea, and I say, "What's wrong with this guy? Doesn't train." But you see, what was I doing 8 months before that?
Training.
I had to train hard. So when I come there, I don't need to train any hard because I already have it under my
Drinking
belt.
tea.
It's under my belt.
You're fighting easy.
Yeah, it was easy. That's why you see. But boss just going to tell me, and he said, my coach is no pain, no gain. But you see, the thing is, I'm just relaxing, having tea.
So that record from 87
Yes.
stands to this day.
It stands today. Seriously, Jeff, they need to give me a medal for that.
Yes. I mean,
32 years.
Do you have a presidential honor? Do you have any one of those?
I don't have anything.
you need
That's why,
something.
I need to see the boss to let them give me like a
HSC.
warrior.
Grand OGW.
OGW.
Order of the Grand Warrior.
Yes, but I think I should be more than OGW.
Okay, MBS.
I think something big.
No, Billy, you need to see the boss, man. You need to see the boss.
I need to see the boss, definitely. I need to
But you saw him a few months ago, Billy,
Yes.
and he said, "Come see me."
I saw him in Narok, and he appreciates me very much, and I really respect the man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think he's Masai because he's Jomo and it's all Masai name.
Yeah,
So
Kenyatta.
we're proud to say. Kenyatta is a belt.
The belt, yes, the colorful belt.
Yeah, the one with the beat.
Yes.
So we always think that he's our guy, but but he appreciates me, and I love the guy.
And he said, "Call me, Billy, call
No,
me."
he told me to come. Then he called the governor and said, "Governor, I need to bring Billy to State House to see me."
How long ago was this?
This is during Madaraka Day.
Oh, the other October.
Just the other
That's
day.
nearly a year.
Yeah.
That's nearly a year.
No, it's not a year.
Oh, June.
June.
Oh,
Yeah.
in June.
A few months ago. Yeah.
So you need to go see
I
him.
need to see him, but it's difficult when you don't have anybody who can really, because he keeps on telling Billy, panga. He doesn't realize it's difficult.
Jeff.
I need somebody who can really tell me, like Jomo or maybe State House Controller, please, this is appointment for you. But I don't know how do I get to those people.
Man, the superstar can't even get access.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, so we'll work on that.
Okay.
We'll work on that.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's all.
Yes. Piga simu, ni simu moja tu. Muingize kwa WhatsApp group. Ajiongelee.
I'll only pick a reverse call.
Reverse call. State House. Sini hapa nje. Do your thing, man.
So Billy, so you hook up with some Finnish woman after that, and you move to Finland
Yes.
after you won your championships and everything, and things started going south.
Yes.
Go on.
Yeah, Jeff, some of these things really do happen. When you meet a beautiful woman and you're single, what do? You marry her. But you see, when you go to Finland, they marry you. You don't marry them. Anyway, but it was nice. She's a good lady.
Yeah.
Her name was Sato Rosalainen. Very beautiful girl. Very nice girl. She took care of me.
You have kids with her?
No, she chose not to have kids. And I think I would have having some billies running out there in Finland.
Oh yeah.
Some billy goats.
Yes. But anyway, yes. I mean, it's a sad story of my life. But you see, my life was like a James Bond movie. If somebody could write a good book, this would be a James Bond movie.
Somebody should write your book.
Coming from LA,
Yes.
going to Frankfurt and Germany and training and doing all these things and all over around the world, living in Finland, and then coming to be put in jail because of false things. Actually, it was very wrong because at the end they didn't find me anything. They said I raped somebody, which is not true. It was just we were people I knew. We were together, but this was a setup by police, the Finnish police. In fact, some of these things, if it's really dug deep and investigated properly, I'm sure even the Finns will come to apologize to me because yes, there's a lot of things they did.
Racism.
It's racism, but I don't even think it's. I think it's just a personal vendetta because in Finland when I was there, I was a big name. I was probably the biggest name in athletics in that country.
In Finland.
In Finland. So they kept on asking, what is this guy doing here? That's what the question is. And Finns are very nice people, but they're also very closed-up people. They're always suspicious of people. So if you're a big name, and I was always in the magazines, the TV, newspapers, so they wonder, what is he doing here? So they suspect that I was probably doing something that maybe investigating them or something, but I wasn't. I was just in love with a woman.
Yeah.
And the woman was beautiful, and we have a home. And I just love Finland. Finland is a beautiful country. And the people in Finland are very nice. There's a very small percentage, extremely racist. It's the only place you can go and they call you nigger.
To your face.
Yes, but that's a very small percentage of the Finns. The Finns are lovely people, and the country is beautiful. Let me tell you, that's one good country.
Okay, so they set you up.
They set me up.
You were in jail for
Yes.
what?
Well, you see, they put me in probation.
Yes.
I mean, not probation. They put me on remand. And finally, I was there for 1 year.
This was in the UK.
Well, in the UK, we went as exchange students from Finland.
Yes.
And it's the Finns that the police were using. They used those girls there. That's what happened.
So you're in remand for how
So
long?
they remand, and then they in Britain they cleared my name because they saw that there was nothing really to hold me up.
Yes.
And the saddest part was the Kenyan government and the people disowned me. They said it's not a Kenyan. It's not.
Oh.
Seriously, Jeff, it took me almost 6 to 7 months to prove I was a Kenyan. They kept on saying it's not a Kenyan. Finally, when they believe I was Kenyan, because I wrote to the speaker, Kaparo.
Yes.
I wrote to him, and then that's when the things started happening. They sent some NSI's guys to Britain to investigate, and they came in as members of the embassy. But I knew they were NSI's guys. So they checked everything and they found out that I was Kenyan. Finally, that's when they started now following up, and they helped me a lot because they kept on telling the judge, why are you keeping him? If you don't, they really wanted to fight in the court.
Yes.
Until they are kicked out because
Really?
they said if you don't have anything against him, get him out.
Yeah.
But the prosecution kept on saying we are not through because this guy is famous. We want to check around the world what he has done because he's a bad guy. So they kept me in that sense, just like that. But finally they released me and they cleared my name. So in Britain I don't have a criminal record.
And then after that, were you?
And then when the Finns saw that I was losing, because it was my Finnish women in Britain, they arrested me again and took me to Finland.
What?
And put something just simple against me, which was nothing even. I've never done anything there. Because I was sent by the Finnish government to Britain. So how can they send me to Britain if I did something wrong? They should have just put me to court there.
Or do a background check.
So in the process, they put me for 8 months.
In a Finland
In
jail.
Finland, yeah, because you see, they put me 1 year, then I can write to the EU, and they can investigate. So anything under that, they can't investigate.
Yes.
So that's why they kept me for that.
They
only
used
8 months.
that loophole.
Yes, just to
keep
put me
you as
once.
right.
And
Just to
in there,
punish you.
Oh, even there, they beat me up.
What?
Yes. You know who came to save me? General Kareithi. Achila Eko.
Yes.
That's why I'm telling you, it could be a James Bond movie. You know, it could be a James Bond
Who
movie.
was beating you up?
The Finns. They put a psycho guy next to my cell, and they opened his cell, and he came and beat me with a crossbar. He broke the bar of the bed, and then he beat me up. I've got marks all over here that he's trying to get to my head.
What?
Yes.
And the guards, what would they do?
No, the guards they're away because I was put in a special enclosed place that is for secure people. So they put him next the cell. Next to me was a cleaner. The cleaner's cell is always open because he cleans around.
Yeah.
But they have to share with a guy. There's only 2 guys in the cell. So they open the cell and they put this guy. But I used to smell something like funny. Like, what is that? And I tell my roommate who was from Sri Lanka, what is that? Sounds like somebody smoking something bad.
Yeah.
And you could tell that I think they were bringing some drugs to him so that he can beat me up. Finally, he beat me up. Yeah.
And then, were you hospitalized? I mean,
Yes, I was taken to the hospital, yes, and got so many stitches. My arm, but he was trying to get my head. Luckily enough, I was very fit. I was doing a lot of push-ups, sit-ups. I was very, very fit. So I grabbed the crossbar and took it away from him. And finally, he couldn't fight with me. And by that time, I was bleeding all over the cell. Yeah.
he was going to kill you.
Yeah, he wanted to kill me because he wanted to hit my head. Lucky enough, because I blocked. If I didn't block, he would have killed me.
What?
I don't think I'll be here speaking to you, Jeff.
Yeah,
for sure. That's what I'm telling you. It's a James Bond movie. Let's get a writer.
Let's get it right. So after 8 months, they found nothing.
Yeah, no. After 8 months, of course, they released me.
Yeah.
But you see, the goodness was in Finland. My wife was visiting me. I had all my rights, and they give you all these rights.
Yeah.
So it was okay. It was a welcome thing. Every 21 days, my wife would visit me. They give me 2 hours. It was nice. So at least it was a relief. Yes.
Ukala
I didn't say that.
Nice.
But Billy,
Yes,
do you
yeah.
regret going to that place? Looking back, do you regret because they took away a good chunk of your life, huh?
No, Jeff. This is part of life. I call it that part of business of life. You gotta do business of life, and it's an experience, and it has humbled me. Because you see, I was bigger than life at that time.
Yeah.
So it's like now, when I look at people in a different light. Because in prison, I was able to get close to the church, the Bible. I become saved, and very, very much into Mambo ya Mungu. So I'm really into it. Even in Kigoris, I belong to a church. We try to do different things in the church, and I see life in a different light. And thank goodness I came back, and I married a Maasai girl. Now I have 3 children, and I call them champions. I think they're listening even today.
Yeah.
I champion and I'm a champion.
You call them champion.
I call them champions. They're champions.
Nice.
Believe me, Jeff, this is, if you plant beans, the only thing you can get is beans. If you get maize, somebody planted for you. See, I did plant beans. So it's really, for example, I have my son running for Bahrain.
Yes.
He's a champion. He's a world champion already.
Already.
He's won the 1500 meters world championship in Germany sometimes back. So you see, this event would be greater.
Yes.
I think the Italians used to say that the only man who can run under 140, it's me. But I didn't do it because of my asthma. My boy doesn't have asthma. I think this is the guy. Chap.
He's going to break it?
He's going to go under 140. And if the Kenyan government knew, if you have the right people in the right places, this guy would be groomed right now at 8 years old.
Yeah.
So by the time he's 17, 18, this guy would be running 143. By the time he's 20, 21, he can go under 140. These are things now. This is it's a thing for Kenya.
And what you're saying is
I've given them the seed.
Yeah.
You need to take this seriously.
What you're saying is not rocket science.
No, it's not rocket science.
Just it's you can see it.
Yes.
You can see it. It's obvious.
Obvious. And look
But there are
at
people who don't see this.
No, we politicize everything.
yes.
Kitu yote tunataka.
No, you see, we idolize politics.
Yes.
We need to get out of that. Where we idolize, we just want to see who beat who
Yes.
what, who when, where, what.
Wewe ingia hapo unitafutie shilingi.
When you open the newspaper, I just want to see politics in the street.
Yes.
That's all. We need to change that.
Yeah.
Change the concept.
Tulirogwa.
Let us not idolize politics.
Callistus Murunga, all the way from Doha, Qatar. He says, I have heard of Billy Konchellah. My dad used to talk about him while in the army and kept all the newspaper cuttings with his image.
That's great.
Billy the Kid.
The fastest gun in the West.
You know, when you were like you said, you were the most famous name in Finland.
Yes.
Probably the only black person in your neighborhood or in your town.
Yes, it's true.
In that country.
No.
The other day, I interviewed George Weah, President George Weah, and he was talking about racism in Europe while he used to play at PSG, at AC Milan. Racism. Fans would throw bananas on the field.
Yes.
Fans would make monkey noises.
Yes.
Some of his fellow players wouldn't want to play with him. The amount of racism in the late 80s, early 90s was unbelievable. Did you face that too?
Oh yeah, I faced. I saw the Berlin Wall go down. And when the Berlin Wall went down, I used to spend a lot of time in Germany. Actually, that's when the problem started in West Germany. Because you see, the thing is, they call them the ISIS. When the ISIS came into the West, those are the ones who brought racism. Because you see, first of all, they didn't have much money. And they're the ones who feel like the blacks are competitor with them. The Turks and all those things. And I saw that racism even in the trains and everywhere. I saw that.
Would they spit at you? Would they throw banana? Would they make noises? Would they call you a nigger openly?
No, basically, they were just what can I say? Because you see in the train.
If you sat down, would they get up?
No. And they would just look at you badly.
Yeah.
And you can just see, and you can even tell by the way they dressed up. And when the ISIS came, they had nothing. They were very poor.
And uneducated.
Yeah. So they thought that you're coming to take their jobs, their what.
Right.
But before that, Germany was a very nice country.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. I lived in Erlangen, which is very close to Nuremberg, which was Hitler's headquarters. And I saw that. And actually, when the ISIS came, I used to like to run in the forest. But after the ISIS came, I started seeing all these funny things. I started being afraid to run in the bushes. So I moved to Austria. I went to Linz, Austria, and lived in Linz.
That's even more racist.
Not really. At that time, it was very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where Hitler originally came from.
Yeah, he came from Linz.
Anafuata moto. Ni trade iko wapi? Wapi pabaya? I want to go on the 140.
Oli Moo. She's tweeting all the way from Calgary, Canada.
Oh.
Yeah, it's late night in Calgary. She says, oh no, what a sad story. Thank God you survived that place. Would you go back to Finland?
Oh yes, I would. I don't mind. Let me tell you, Finland is a good country. It's a beautiful country. It's a country of very nice people. But it's a small percentage of people.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 2%. Yeah. But that 2% is many. And they are really bad. Really bad. They really hate. And they can tell you negeri. They call it negeri.
Negeri.
They can't say nigger, they say negeri. Huh? And they can say, sometimes, they'll tell you, what are you doing here? Monkey, go home. What? Yeah, in their language.
What?
Yeah. Taka sinkoti, halwan tala. Tala halwan apina.
You still speak
Finnish? Yeah.
You still speak Finnish?
Yes.
But imagine, under all that,
He's
but
still
he still made it.
world champion.
Imagine.
To this day.
In a foreign land.
When you see people like David Rudisha, who's done really well. Is he from Kilgoris as well?
Yes. We groomed him from when he was just a small guy.
Yes.
And until he became big. And then, you see, we started in Kilgoris. And he used to run with my young brothers and all these things. But what I did with Rudisha was I spent a lot of time with him, counseling him. And we used to go and eat mandazi and chai. Yeah, chai.
That chai of yours again, huh?
And then I'll tell him what to do. He go out there and does it.
Yeah.
You see, I like Rudisha because he was a good listener. He's very listened, and he does what you tell him. So he really took me seriously. He used to look for me and then all that stuff. Until he became even greater than me. He ran better than me. And thanks to Brother Colum, he took over from that side.
Correct.
But he's a good boy. He's from my neighborhood. Yeah.
But he's been quiet recently.
And that's why you see that thing about beans and maize.
Yes.
I learned it from his father. He told me, Bill, ukipanda maragwe utapata maragwe. Ukipata mahindi, mtu amekupandia mahindi. And you see Rudisha, look at his father was great.
Yes.
Rudisha is a great athlete.
Yes.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Kirigo Mburu says, Paul Esana Billy, welcome back home though. Welcome back home.
Thank you.
Home is best, man. And Billy still wants to make a difference out there. He says he has what it takes if we could just put the right people in the right place. By the way, you and the boss are about the same age, huh?
Yeah, he's 2 years older than me. He used to come with Woodley. You know, his auntie was living across from our house in Woodley.
And he used to come over?
Yes, they used to come over. And you know that those days, it's very interesting. They used to walk with his auntie, him and Muhoho, the two guys.
Yes.
And they would come there and they would, I think they slept there. And they, no car, no nothing. They were just walking. And they would walk back to State House again.
Good Lord.
No cars, those time. So he remembers the good time. That was a good time. Kenya was a really good time. And they always stopped at our house.
Yeah.
Always to say hi to my mom, stepmom. That's why we remember each other from that time. Yeah, almost the same age.
You are?
Yeah, he's only 2 years older than me.
Look at that, man.
But you see, my dad was very close to Jomo Kenyatta. Actually, he was one of the people. He went with him to Lancaster Conference House when we were searching for independence.
Was that John Konchellah?
John Konchellah,
Yes.
Yeah. I don't mistake with it. There's another John Konchellah who's my first cousin.
Right.
He's a chairman of NEMA. So the John Konchellah was the original one.
Yes, your dad.
So he's the one who built a trade name of Konchellah. Then I just came to put a polish on it.
Yeah, polish and a world record.
Yeah,
That's 32 years old.
That's polishing.
Lord Billy. By the way, if no one breaks your record, do you get like royalties? Do you still get paid or something? Is that
No, there's nothing, Jeff. Nobody. You see, royalties would come if your people recognize you.
Yeah.
Like your governor, or if your people work for the Ministry of Sport.
Yes.
That's the way you get the royalty from.
But if they don't recognize you and you don't even have a national honor or title,
Nothing. Because you see, the thing is, you've done these things in the world out there. Now, when you're done, they pay you. They give you all that, whatever Mercedes, they give you all that things.
Yes.
And then when you come to your country now, when you're retired, that's your country now to honor you.
Yes.
They're the ones who take care of you. But I don't get into it.
but you know, Billy, you could have changed your citizenship very easily.
Yes, I could, but
Yes,
you see, because of my dad. My dad, he went to fight for independence. How can I do that? It was difficult for me. My consciousness would not allow me.
Yeah.
I got the many offers. I got offers from America, from Germany, Austria, and I turned it all down. Because I couldn't face my dad. Why would I tell him? You see? That's why even my son, when he ran for Bahrain, they called me and they told me he's running for a club in Berlin. I said, oh, it's okay, Berlin, all right, a club. Finally, to read in the papers that he's a citizen of Bahrain. I almost got a heart attack.
Good Lord.
Yeah. But I bless him, let him find his ways and do his thing. He said,
Yeah, look,
you know, in Masai, when you circumcise a boy,
Yes.
he's a man. Let him go and do his thing.
he's a man.
Yeah,
And by the way, if he's not going to be recognized here, you know,
We don't recognize our own.
Shiriki kwapi?
Iko mbele, tafuta huko. Sindio?
No.
Hapa akirudi nayo KRE,
Yes.
tuko nayo.
Oh, KRE.
Tunamngojea.
Look.
Wewe tunakungojea.
Look
Mwenye
at,
Mercedes.
look at Mo Salah. Angalia, there's a guy who runs for the US who's really good. Mike, oh man. He was running in this last Olympics. Kenyan American.
Yes.
There's many of them
Oh, yes.
who have decided, you know what? This AK,
Yeah.
EAK,
Wate guy.
Aja Ikai,
ya nani?
AK Ikai.
Ninde.
That's what, it's frustrations, Billy.
Very frustrating.
But
And it's all round. It's not just that the athlete, everything.
Yeah.
Doctors are leaving, you know.
everyone.
Yes, patients. Hata wagonjwa wamekataa Kenya. Wako India. Angalia, the things you're doing. Yes.
Oh, what a shame, Billy. But you still want to give back.
Yes, yes.
You still have hope in this place.
I do.
Huh?
Hii ni roho ya mau.
Big heart. Okay. Billy anataka kukojoa. By the way, Philip Itale,
Yes.
communications director of EM,
Yeah.
loving the show. Does have a world record that's 32 years old, unbroken, since the World Championships in 1987. Katiba Clyde, you were born in 1987.
He was winning.
Do that math. Billy,
Yes.
closing thoughts, man. I mean, you still think there's a lot of hope in sports in this country. Like Masai Ujiri said, there's so much hope, and yet we are ignoring, or we are just not doing anything about it.
Jeff, if you listened to Massa yesterday, he talked about great talent. I mean, look at He said long arms, long legs. I mean, he said this is a shame that we can't be able to give these children a chance to become something. He said the talent here is deep. And he said, you look at the NBA, it's coming now, he's saying the only continent that NBA is really concentrating on is Africa.
Yes.
And you see, if NBA could even come here, instead, he said, it's not going anywhere else, it's coming to Africa. So it's shame on us if we cannot assist that. Jeff, what we need to do is like, if you look at our budget, sports got a very small money, not like education. But they should be empowered with education because they go part to part. And of course, sports, if we want to develop sports, the budget for sports should be more. This was very little. Next thing, we need to concentrate on the lotto through the sports fund.
Yes.
The sports act.
Yes. Because there's a lot of money in lotto.
And Jeff, there's something that we really didn't touch. The retired athletes. There is a Heroes Act that was passed by Parliament. And this thing would provide a house, a health insurance, and a little pension for these guys because some of them are really living in very, very bad conditions. And that's why you see people like Nyandika Mayero died. He died because of poverty. And I used to talk to them almost every week.
Look at Henry Rono.
Henry Rono is in America. I gave you his number. Did you call him?
Yes.
I hope you did call him. He's coming. He's not supposed to come.
He's coming home.
But because of your show, the bench,
Yes.
I think the governor of Nandi decided to give him a job. So you see the things. And even this Kadenge Nampira.
Yes.
Kadenge,
He died a pauper.
that guy was...
That's the
I
guy,
used to see it. Because even he used to come to athletics meeting.
Oh.
And his brother is Anzara. And they used to like to come to athletic meeting. And I used to see that. And it's like, why can't we even do that? Kadenge Nampira, we all grew up that. Kadenge Nampira.
Can you imagine?
You know, and he died because of not being taken care of.
And he's almost forgotten now.
And not only, that's just a few. There's a whole list I can give you from athletics. Yeah, I don't know about football, but from athletics.
They need to be recognized.
They need to be taken care of. I was thinking even like at one time, I would use the Masai Mara Marathon to be able to go and build houses for these guys. But you see, Masai Mara Marathon was taken over by my brother, chairman of NEMA now, John Konchellah.
Yes.
And we didn't agree on some of the things he was doing. So I left Masai Mara Marathon because of that. And the thing is, I want to build something else on my own so that I'll be able to use some funds even to help some of these guys. Help myself and others.
Yeah.
Because you see, that's things we need to do. Yeah.
And you need to see the boss.
I need to see the boss. Jeff, make a call.
Yes. Thank you. Billy Konchellah, I have no words, man. I have no words. You are a walking, talking legend.
Thank you, Jeff.
And yet people will pass you in the street and not even recognize you. If you were in America right now...
Oh, big time.
Bro.
Even in Finland, I used to sign autographs. In Austria, and everywhere I went. The other day I went to Japan. Thanks to, they gave me like, during the World Youth 2017, I was put in the steering committee, which was the highest position that I've ever got in the government.
Yeah.
And that was, I was able to go to Japan to look for a place for Kenyan athletes to stay. And reaching there, these guys from the ministry were bigger than me. But you see, the Japanese came with a book with my picture on it. I mean, when they received us, was like, oh, until, you know, I have to sign autographs right away. That's
in Japan.
In Japan, in Tokyo, at the airport.
A prophet is never recognized in his own home.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, bro.
Yes.
But you know what? We recognize you. We do.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. You make me look good.
We appreciate you, brother.
I thank you, Jeff.
Honestly.
All the nice words. God bless you.
Bro, I mean, this is not rocket science here, man. It's not rocket science. It's no-brainer.
Yes.
They would have streets named after you.
Of course.
They would have schools named after you.
Yes.
They would have children named after you, even though they were not yours.
Yes.
All them.
Billy Konchellah, come out.
Yes.
Actually, they some children. My mom the other day went to Gong.
Yeah.
And one kid was being called Billy Konchellah. Billy Konchellah. It was just in the, she said, what? I said, look at Billy here. So they have children.
I told you.
I just need a script.
You just need to This is what we call
Jeff Koinange and Professor Hamo every day, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Hot 96.